Hello and welcome to Don't Evolve Me, the place like Ash, Ketchum, Pikachu. We don't evolve, we just level up. Even though, according to Ernie in the group chat, I have evolved. We are in our World Turtle phase, apparently. Well, welcome with
Wait,
the
we're
new
not
hair.
Pikachu? I thought we were Ash Ketchum Pikachu. What happened?
We're Raichu now. We evolved.
We have to be Raichu then? What the? Or were we Pichu? Now we're Pikachu.
I don't know. I just
I
like
don't know how
World
this
Turtle.
works. Yeah, Squirtle is the best, but just leave it as Squirtle. It gets
Well, I
worse as he
just
gets on.
well he put the picture of like the evolution of Squirtle, War Turtle, and Bulbasaur, and I just
Yeah, it
like looked
did.
at War Turtle with like the little ponytail with like the little wings. I'm like, I feel like I'm in my War Turtle phase.
Yeah. But Squirtle's
Just
the
wa-
best.
just watch out. If I have to evolve again, I'm coming out shooting. Just letting you guys know. All right, talking Andor season 2 premiere. This is a little bit different from last year and from or not last year, last season, and a lot of other TV shows. We're not getting one episode per week. We're getting an arc per week. We're getting
Yeah,
three
which is
episodes.
crazy.
This,
Which
you
is
know what
kind of
this,
cool. I like
you
it.
know, you know what this show reminds me of. This is my comp. This show is the adult live action version of Star Wars Clone Wars, but it's Star Wars
Yeah, I kind of get
Andor.
that.
But I mean, like, it's not.
I
It's
was
not.
expecting you to compare it to another TV show, but yeah, of
Yeah, it
course.
is. Clone
We're
Wars
going to
live
compare it to
action.
something Star Wars. Oh, okay, that's
Yeah. So that's what I compare it to. I will say, we kind of talked about this before we went on the air. I feel very dumb watching this show. It takes me so long to figure out who's who, what's going on half the time. So
do
you're
you
gonna have
like
to help me out.
watch it and rewatch it and watch it again and watch it
I've had to
again?
watch it like two or three times. So I'm like sitting down. I'm like, what is actually happening with all these? This is one of those shows that like it does not dumb it down for you. It just goes. It doesn't really
Yep.
catch you up. It just kind of goes like, hey, it's these are the characters, these are the people. Once you
Dude,
know who everything is, it's like Rogue One when we did that for the State of Review. Very much that show is so or that movie's so fast paced. But like once you like actually start to understand it,
what's happening, what's going on? You're like, oh shit.
I'm like, oh, this is
That's
so.
what I think the show does really good. That's why I really like
Mhm.
it. Because it's not, I mean, I swear, it's not meant for like a just casual, you can turn it side to the side and do something else, you clean your house. No, you gotta
Mm.
watch like
You
every
have
detail. It's
You
great.
have to watch. You have to pay attention. It's probably why it took me forever to watch season one because I rewatched the first arc like three or four times, and I will say that arc is kind of boring and it's kind of hard to get a part of it. But once you get a part of it, season one, arc one,
Oh, I thought you were talking about this one this morning. Sorry, I'm coming back.
season one, arc one, kind of boring. A lot of flashbacks. It's basically like, hey, this is Cassian Andor. This is where he's from, and now this is where this is where he was when he was born. This is his origin story, and this is kind of the start of his rebellion journey. Whereas, yeah,
They
but
kicked this season off like, boom, you're in it. A year later, which is a little bit weird, but I'll allow it.
oh, it kind of doesn't feel like a season two premiere. It kind of feels like just adding on the season one.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. That's why I said a year later. I was like, it felt like its own. It felt like a continuation. Like there wasn't even a single break at all. That's what I felt like anyway.
Yeah, they're
Like you just
really here we are,
into it.
new arc, and that's
Now
kind
let's
of
talk
what.
about this first scene though. You got it, dog.
Let's get into the kind of like what happened to it. So I kind of do
Oh,
different
okay.
segments. I know that we haven't done the week to week part of it, but let's talk kind of like what happened 1 year later
Later.
after the Ferrex uprising. Cassian is back impersonating as an
The
Imperial
pilot.
Tex pilot with a really cool uniform. His goal is to steal a prototype TIE fighter with the lady who is very nervous to be turning
helping him out.
turning over. Yeah. What happened to her, by the way? That's like the one thing I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, dude, she died.
She died.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have to pay attention. My ADHD
Or
has
at least
struggles
that's
with
what they
this.
hinted at. They didn't show it. It was off screen. But he was supposed to meet her, right? So he'll give you some head
Yep.
start, X amount of time.
Hmm.
Then he meets his people, and they tell her, "Oh, we killed him." Oh, oh. And then she talks. That's why I love the first scene too. Like they don't like. This is the first time she's helping out. She's super nervous. She's like,
Hmm.
"What if I die because of it?" And then she dies. You're like, oh,
That's what I figured would happen. Because I'm like, wait a sec, what
what?
happened? And then she was so nice, though. They were like flirting a little bit, and Cassian's all like, serious, like, yeah, 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 you got this.
He's trying to make a
Yeah.
little bit of fun with it too. You got this, becoming somewhat of a leader. You can see him take a little bit of a
Hmm.
leadership role of it, becoming
Growing
more
up.
confident in what he's doing. I think in a lot of it,
Yeah,
like
he's
tackle the
he's
balls he takes to jump in this pilot thing. He has no idea how to drive. And he's like, "Fudge."
that was kind of like fun. It was just like him shooting everybody in there, and like there's so many scenes like this, like in Rebels and other live action. I think in maybe Clone Wars, you know, trying to escape the hangar bay and you have to shoot your way. I think Force Awakens had it with Finn and Poe. But
Yeah,
this one was kind of interesting. It was like this is a whole new ship with whole new design. You have to figure it out, and he figured it out. So Cassian Andor, he arrives onto the jungle planet for delivery and is ambushed by people who is not his people. I
but
think they're
people trying to
called
fight against the rebellion. I thought this was great.
the Mayape Brigade.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't remember. Yeah, I didn't remember what their name was, but runs
I had
into
to
him,
look it up.
and that's where
And
he's calling for his friends. And they find out like your friends are there, and they blasted bad guys and killed them. It's like when I first got it's like,
it's like, yeah, yeah. I thought I thought this scene was really interesting because like, or not the scene, but like this group was really interesting because they weren't like a competent group, and
that's kind of what I love about it, because they did this scene in combination with like I don't want to call it poor and rich scene. You had like the poor people trying to fight back, but they're fighting amongst each other, and then you get to see
mm,
the rich people scene like right after that too. And you're like, oh, okay, it's like
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
classist kind of a scenario, and where the struggle comes from a lot. Because I mean, there's a lot. I took it to real life. So I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of people on the bottom, trying to do what's right, but
They're
then others
clawing their
and
way up.
struggling. Yeah, like,
Mm-hmm.
struggling with each other a lot of times. Like people will rob each other in these poor neighborhoods or something like that. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, he does a really good job of
And
kind of
then all the rich people
showing.
are in their own little area, having their
Oh, they're on
parties,
their own
having
little
their
world,
little
having this
pleasure parties, and the guy talking
whatever.
about like enjoy the pleasures of the world.
Oh, when we get to that scene, oh man,
I think was
that's
that
crazy
episode
too.
two?
Episode two, yeah. So 2 and 3, I got so many.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of my questions come from too. But I
Um.
think seeing those people, just kind of getting a reality check of some of the people that are trying to fight the rebellion, and just seeing the ambush in between all of them before they actually try to make decisions. Who's going to do
Mhm.
what? And I think that references back to season one, where you have to be the leader. Yeah, they were talking about quite a bit too. For this to work, you have to lead. So you're trying to prove that you can lead.
Mhm.
You don't have to. There's not a single leader.
There really isn't. They lost their leader, and there's like kind of like two subgroups that kind of rise out of this. Let's set up the rest of kind of the scene, the plot. So on the farm planet, you have the Ferrex crew. You have Andor and friends. Friends, they're all working as a farmer. They're working for a farmer under pretty much as undocumented immigrants. I believe
Yep.
what is this planet called? Minaru. I could be saying it awfully. But Minaru, they're working, they're trying to just lay low, and the Empire arrives. Something that doesn't happen often. And then Mon Mothma prepares for an arranged marriage for her daughter. And it's one of those
Yeah,
deals where, like, hey, I know what you're doing and I want to defect.
that
But,
dynamic too. Mother and daughter in that. Woo!
and that whole political, yeah, we're arranging our marriage, we're going to do the tradition. Yikes.
Yeah, it's all that kind of stuff. And the mother's like, I want to do this, I want to do it. All kind of feeling. And then the daughter's actually okay with it and really values your father, the love the father gives, even though like, it's still.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. I totally. Oh, there's so much dynamic in this, dude. Like, it's
Hmm.
great.
And it's really crazy because you have, Luthen and then you have Mon Mothma, two essentially rebellion spies into the Empire. And I think it's really interesting their dynamic, especially Luthen, because like he's this very like hard edge, like I'm gonna sell my soul for the rebellion. I will do what must be done. I will kill. I will do all the bad things so that this is a better world. But then when he's like in public, what's up, darling? He's like a
Yeah,
showman.
he's this rich showman of the sales. Like, he's definitely got 100% of salesman out there, you know?
And then Mon Mothma is like that, but very lesser like degree. She's all just ready to go, kind
Quiet,
of
well
quiet,
reserved, doesn't
unless
talk much, super stressed.
unless.
You can feel her stress levels as you go through. Just to try to make this thing happen.
Mm,
Uh, which I think in that first season where the first see them on Mothma and this whole celebration thing, and you see Tay Coma, like the first time you see him come in,
yeah,
and you find out that he's basically broke.
yeah,
Rich guy still trying to play rich.
yeah.
And
So this whole deal is like May sour, and he's like, "Hey, I might sell you out to the Empire," but
yep,
yeah, it's
because he
like,
wants to become rich again. If I sell you out, I can get a bunch of money, basically. And you're like, oh god.
yeah, it's like,
And it brings in the
fuck.
whole rich dynamic too, like where people, I feel
Mhm.
like rich people do sell each other out, push each other down, try
And
to get
then
ahead because they get hungry for power. That's crazy.
it wasn't this Mon Mothma and Luthen trying to like they're considering their options here with this like, hey, we definitely cannot get ratted out here.
I think you get that more in like episode two, but the first episode they just notice each other, and then
Hmm.
Finn and Mon just have one small conversation. Basically, Luthen recognizing it. Weird
Yeah,
connection that just happened. He's like, okay, what was that? It's like, oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it. I sweat.
yeah,
Nuts. That's the rich people side.
nuts.
Then you have the
Uh,
poor people side of it. And then the running immigrants. It's crazy weird how it interacts with life today. And it's weird. It's mainly rich people. So
it is like the richest company.
yeah,
One of the richer like entertainment companies. I think the dynamic is interesting because you have insurgent group, you have you have the insurgent group that is like fighting the rebellion. You have the farmer group on the farm planet with the empire coming in. Then you have these rich bureaucrats throwing a party
yep.
or arranging a marriage.
You can imagine. Listen,
Continuing this episode, Cinta asks Luthen about her partner Vel Orson Krennic. He oversees a secret meeting of the planet of Gorman due to having a rare mineral. I do have questions about that secret meeting because it was,
pretty big
secret.
deal.
Yeah, secret Empire stuff. I have thoughts, and I think I know what is coming. My pay surgeons split up in a really. This is the end of the episode 1 year later. The Mayape insurgents they fight over. Wasn't it they were fighting over what to do with Cassian because he's the only one who knew how to like fly the plane, but they had to get out of there, or the Tie Fighter.
Yeah, so don't know how to fly the plane, but they said they could figure it out, right? We can figure out how to fly this thing. We don't need him. Trash. Haven't eaten a couple days yet. And
It's
Cassian's
raining.
all like, try to find food and water. Like, let's try to get, stuff here. There's got to be something around here first. Worry about
I love.
yourselves. And being a leader, trying to tell them the right direction to take, and they just completely disregard them. Like, this little
I thought it was
bitch,
really interesting
it's like,
because you have one
yeah,
guy who's just like, let's fucking kill him. Like, kill him off. And the other guy's like, no, he's our ticket out of here. He's gonna, and like I should be the leader because I was the second in line because of this person who told me that I was gonna be second in line, and then just blows up into them shooting each other and splitting up the group. And that is how and Cassian gets taken hostage, and that is how they end episode 1 year later, which I will say I really liked how they could have done this episode by episode, and that might have been the best way to do it. But I like thinking of these 3 episodes as like one episode in particular.
Yeah, I hope there's like one full episode too. I've never looked at those three, so just to be able to all read in between the 3 episodes coming up. I think it was kind of neat. I kind of like that 1, 2, 3. It gave me a little more detail of each person's situation, while still keeping me well informed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was pretty cool. But
All right,
some people might think differently.
Next episode, the Sagrona Tima. What was it? Sagrona Tima. Forget how they said it. They said it in like a really particular way. I'm like, this sounds like a legit like holiday. A set like a tradition, set tradition. All right, Cassian is held prisoner as insurgents split off and are at a stalemate. Some are at the ship, some are at the shelter. It's raining. This is where Cassian's just like, all right, you guys, it's not going to rain all day. Let's tarp up some water. You say you're thirsty. Maybe someone go for hunting. They're really quiet over there.
This is where he gets like super like leadership, what they should be doing to help themselves. And just because of who he is, he's so calm about it, telling them what they should do. And like I said, instead of being like reasonable thoughts, they're like, no, he's a villain. Don't listen to him.
Yeah.
He's trying to destroy us. He's trying to get in between us. You're like, trying to save your life, you idiots.
What's really funny is like he got like to them without even like trying. Just like his existence destroyed this group.
Yeah, exactly. And he's trying to help them out too, and they're like, don't even care. They're like, nope, no way this guy would be willing to help us out. He's just spying on us. Making other people argue for it too. It's even better.
On Minaru, the Empire officially arrives to check all the papers and work of all the workers. Big Sprasso and Will arrange to move from another planet. They also work with the farmer who's like, I'm not going to sell you out.
Totally. What about the Empire meeting? I think came right after the first scene.
Oh yeah, was that? I thought it was in season 1 or episode 1. Sorry,
I thought it was episode 2 where they all have to be talking what they're going to do. They need to harness the power to give back to the people, to control the people.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
oh, I definitely know where we're going with it.
What kind of bullshit is this? This is great.
I'm pretty sure it's episode
political. 1. What episode 1?
I'm pretty sure it was episode 1. We're gonna get more of that. Yeah, we don't get much more of it. We do get Daedra and Cyril now living together. They're preparing for social events. We get to see their interaction. We get to see Cyril being like the leader of. Yeah, he gets to be the boss. He's like, well, one day, a couple of years ago, I was standing right where you were. I got to work at that desk, and then I found an inefficiency, and look where I'm at now. Now I'm the boss. Get that whole vibe going on. Good for those two, by the way. They found happiness in the Empire. I don't know if they're happy, but
I mean, the shit looks good. I think he enjoys having a strong person that can stand up. The way she stood up to his mother.
Oh yes, that scene.
That made me feel so good because I don't know why. Maybe it just his mom annoys the fucking shit out of me. And I was like, good, put that mom in her place for a second. She's being a little weird.
And like the mom does like what everybody does too, just like continues to play the game. Like, oh, she definitely goes on, doesn't she? Like, oh man, no. Daedra knows her shit. She'll call you out in every fucking thing, and I really like Daedra for it. Even though
I feel like she's
even though she's a fascist.
I really like her. At the same time,
really good at this show's really good at like making you like the Empire. Like you like some of the people involved, even though like they're kind of not great people. But yeah,
I mean, the
Uh,
overall, arc of the Empire horrible, but like people, I think does a good job of showing like just because someone dies, and that's what politically that's why they're so good. It's like Game of Thrones.
a
They
little
put
bit,
like
yeah.
political notion into it, and it's great.
Speaking
Without
of political notions, Luthen Mothma, this is where they discuss the possibility of Coma's defection, different options, and then the episode ends with Cassie, or they decide to end the stalemate, but instead of battle, they do
rock
Star
paper
Wars
scissors.
versions of paper, rock, scissors,
Yeah, pretty much. Whatever they
with
said,
like
best of
ah,
five or whatever it
ah,
was.
best of nine. I don't even know what they were going to, and then Andor just makes the smart play and is like, you know what? I'm gonna
And
just
was
slip
like,
these
yeah,
guys.
I try to help these people. They're kind of dumb. Ah, exactly what he
And
said.
that's it. He slipped out, and they're like, "Ah, the pilot, he's gone." And there goes the ship, and a bunch of them are dead for like no fucking reason. Cassian Andor
And then they
plays it.
fought again after they saw Andor get away. You're
Yeah,
like, oh yeah.
not for the rebellion. All right, last one, last episode. Harvest. Cassian contacts Clea and is able to kind of understand there's danger on Mina Ru. Deja and Cyril host dinner with Cyril's mother. Legia gets betrothed, I should say, not married, but officially like it's not technically they're married, but it's like they're officially like betrothed to each other.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
basically
grown-up
just
team,
yeah.
basically.
Well, big sense. This one
But
started.
anyway,
I forgot what the beginning of this episode was.
it's
A
over.
speech by Mon Mothma's husband
Oh yeah, about the pleasure.
about like the good times, the bad times, the depression. Just like enjoy it. Oh, I was like, that was good.
I really liked it because it was like I forget who the person was half the time because I forget sometimes I forget like where everybody's allegiances is, but I kind of like I understood it as like you know what for our time where we're at now in our society, I'm like I really like this speech. But also, I could see it as like a rich person be like, "Oh, look at all those poors and the bad news. This makes me really feel sad." But you know what? We're rich. Let's go party. I also saw it from that perspective too.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it from both perspectives. When he did like the suffrage, he's talking to his wife,
Mm.
and then the whole speech, and then of course at the end of the show, which we'll talk about how that all ended. And we'll get there.
I I
The way
enjoyed
Mon
the
Mothma
ending.
handled it, I really enjoyed the ending. I was like, oh yeah, there's so many. We'll get there.
So
There's so much
on
stuff in between.
Minoru, Team Ender planned to leave, but the Imperial officer who keeps asking Bix, and this was in episode 2, where's your husband? Why is he not around? Would you like to go on a
Oh
trip
yeah,
with me? Yeah, he makes a move on Bix, and Bix promptly kills him. And I will say, this is like one of those scenes where I'm like, oh, we
they
never
went
had
there.
this. Like we never had this type of situation on. Like this is Star Wars. He's fully trying to rape her right now, and
Yep,
okay, this
like
is
they
a
actually
thing.
went there with the show. Like
But it's
I was
like
surprised they
real.
went that far. It's like, yeah, it's real life.
I mean, this is what war is. This is what happens, and like, and it was kind of like set up like, oh yeah, he's doing this thing. We're all gonna, handle these people. They're gonna be their people with a bodyguard, and she promptly kills him. And I'm like, go for
Good
Bix.
for
Yeah,
her. Yep,
fuck them.
broke her a little
Uh,
bit.
the farmer sells him out. Brasso, in the middle of all of it, tries to escape. He
Sells him out because of his
dies.
girl's crushed. That's was gonna get crushed.
Yeah. Brasso
Trying to protect his
dies.
daughter. That's
Is
another dynamic
Brasso
there too.
is
I was gonna ask you
Brasso
about that.
I forget. I always
Brasso
took
was
it
his
as was it his brother or adopted brother?
no, that was his buddy in the workplace. Helped
Yeah.
him escape originally. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought
But
too. I'm
his
like
brother.
they're
Yeah,
just
his
close.
brother. His
They're
brother Jim.
stepbrothers, right?
Yeah.
Stepbrothers?
Yep.
Because like I saw that they were like someone mentioned brother. I'm like I didn't think they were brothers. I thought they were just friends. But then I realized Marva probably adopt, they're brothers in a figurative
Brothers in a
sense.
way of, yeah, in the way, I mean, I guess adopted brothers.
Yeah,
Step brother counts. What you call them?
counts, counts.
What is your adopted brother called? Is that technically a brother?
Yes,
It's brother, right?
yeah, brother.
That's what we say it.
Andor arrives in the nick of time, and the TIE fighter promptly kills off, showing off his skills with the cool TIE fighter. Bix and Will are saved. They fly off. Luthen then tells Mon Mothma that they are going to kill Kolma. Cinta is then the one who takes what's his name again? Kolma away. And Mon Mothma with the news takes a
Yeah,
couple
Cinta,
shots.
the look that Bell gives Cinta when happening too, like, woo, dog.
And and the music plays, and Mon Mothma kind of takes a shot, cries a little bit, and just dances the sorrow away, and the episode ends. And I will say, you know what vibe this ending gave me? This is a good comparison, by the way. It reminded me of Mass Effect,
Yeah,
the
you
video
told me about
game.
that.
It reminded me of Mass Effect with the music because Mass Effect in the games, when they go to clubs, that type of music is playing, and that's basically what I was thinking of. But I really liked how this show ended this, because it's like this uplifting, like happy music, but it's not happy. You know that this
Oh,
is like
you know, like
sorrow.
shit's about to hit the fan. That's what's crazy about it. Like you definitely have that sense, like, oh, I couldn't control take Homa. You have to kill him. She's not very comfortable with that because that could cause more havoc and more, things to have to cover up. When you're playing a game of like cover up chicken, she's definitely nervous for her own livelihood and her own family and all the stuff that they're getting involved in.
I mean, father-in-law is
This,
dead. Her daughter's father-in-law is going to die.
yep, and then she's gonna drink it away. She's gonna party it and drink it off and hide it. Just let
You have
go.
Andor and friends. They have to they escape with Andor saw Brasso died.
So practical,
Bix,
like, dude, Cassian, man, that guy either has the biggest balls of steel you've ever seen. Ice cold, like he's like
I think it's
he's full in on the mission. He's like,
it's Survivor. I think at this point, like
yeah,
he's just it happens. I'm hurt. I'm shocked, but like we have to go on and survive. I've seen so much death that this is just another one. Like that's how I took it. Like he didn't have
yeah,
time to grieve. It's let's go.
it pretty much was like, this is cost. It's costing
And
more.
he was trying to hide Bix from it too. He's like, we can't react right now. We just have to go. I will tell you the sad news later. We will react later, but right now,
We gotta go. Super practical about
it's
it and just like, let's go.
um.
It's scary cold, but also like, I like the realism where he's like, if I don't, I'm more likely dead. I'm all gonna die.
All right,
It's calculated and cold. Love it.
all right. I've got some questions, and then we can talk more about things we love, things we don't like. What's the importance of the TIE fighter?
To see technology, I think, right? That's gonna be
I This isn't a new story, and when I say it's not a new story,
yep.
this is I've watched all Rebels. I watched all of Clone Wars. This isn't Rebels. This is like a new or a relatively like this is a storyline that happens in Rebels. So I'm like, is this a tie-in to Rebels? Because they've had a similar TIE fighter prototype. Is this another TIE fighter? Like is this something that the Empire is just massively expanding multiple projects at a time because they can? What's the importance of this particular TIE fighter, or is it just set up for this story?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question if the TIE fighter has significance, but I imagine it must have some sort of significance of some sort of knowledge or some sort of something. Right? It's kind of my thought. Knowledge of the Empire, knowledge of a weakness. I mean, this is where they started getting into. were to get these plans in the first place or something like that.
I took it as like the first pilot was the one who gave him the plans because she defected. That's what I took it as. At least like that's how they got it. The importance of it because it's not even the ship they were trying to steal. That's another thing too. They weren't trying to steal that particular ship. They're trying to steal another ship. So what's the importance of the one they were trying to steal? Is that the one that was on what is it? I forget the planet that Ezra's on. Ezra Bridger. Remember what that
Yeah.
planet is?
Oh gosh, yeah. What is that? Shoot. I have to look it up.
Yeah, because
That makes sense too.
that's where the other Tie Fighter is too. So I'm just like, okay, is this the same storyline, or are they just kind of repeating a similar storyline? Like it works worldwide. It works. It's fine. All right, Donald, do you have a question for me?
I do have a question. Just when it comes to kind of the funding of the whole rebellion here,
Mm-hmm.
do you think Luthen has a bigger scope in mind to get
A
funding?
bigger. Oh,
Like I'm thinking theft,
like
some sort of
another
theft, like
score that's gonna help them.
another score that's going to help them more or less than relying too
Probably,
much on Mon Mothma. If
probably.
theft did get Mon Mothma covered, that's what I think it's going to be. But I wondered what your thought process. What's a Luthen's play? Because he didn't really play his hand other than killing Tacoma.
I
What is
imagine the
Luthen
next.
up to?
Hey, it's one of my questions. What is Luther and Mon Mothma planning? Particularly
Yeah,
Luther. That's a good question. I don't know. I imagine there's going to be a lot more consequences with them killing Coma. I think the next couple arcs is going to deal with those consequences and deal with the pressure of the Empire on Luthen. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if we get Luthen's death this season, and I wouldn't be surprised if
Luthen.
the season two, yeah, like this is the last of the Andor series, right? This was going to be a 5 season thing. They made it 2 seasons. They made it very like they're going to do a bunch of time skips with arcs. Luthen is never seen again in Star Wars. I'm pretty sure season 2 ends with Luthen's death. And then Luthen's sacrifice for the greater good, which is probably somewhat getting to the plans of Death Star.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing he's got to sacrifice for something.
So what is he planning? I'm assuming his plans is to cover up, and I'm assuming there's going to be pressure, and I'm guessing that pressure is going to be from Daedra. Speaking of which, my next question: what is with Gothron? What is with the secret meeting stuff? Is just this more Death Star? This has to be Death
I think
Star.
it's Death Star power, right? You mean
Yeah,
the good beam that kills planets, right?
I
They
mean
say it's for
Rogue
the
One's
people.
about that.
Yeah, they say it's for the people, right? The power for the people. I mean, really, I'm thinking more power to power a giant machine to destroy
Yeah.
planets. Really, I'm thinking it is.
Well, to
They
control
have to just,
people.
yep, get to destroy a planet to build a planet destroyer. Basically, that's the risk I think that they're looking to play, and what it's going to take to get that, core of whatever that planet is they're on. They're trying to dig up. I forgot what it was called, but that's what I see it as. It's the
Gothron.
energy. Yep, it's where a big source of energy is from. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
where that comes in.
I'm wondering if this is Kyber crystal or if this is some other material that they need. Because the prisons in season 1 was parts for the Death Star, correct?
Yeah, that was parts for it.
So I assume this is just more
So
Death Star stuff. And I assume these storylines kind of come together at the end.
yeah, I imagine they all are going to come down into the crash, and that's going to be the planet that gets destroyed at the end. I have no idea.
I don't know.
It's kind of fun to watch it play out though. It's like an epic foreshadow to Rogue One, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. This
Makes me
this
appreciate Rogue
show
One even more.
this show reminds me of Better Call Saul. in the sense that like this show isn't about like what's gonna happen because we all know what happens. Better Call Saul, you know what happens. You know that Saul gets caught at the end. You know that there's going to be an ending at the end of it. You know what happens in Breaking Bad, but it's not about what happens. It's about how it happens. It's about the entertainment, the joy, the just the process of how Saul got to where he got to. And I feel like this show is the process. It's not about what happens. It's about how Cassian Andor got to the position where he was one of the main reasons that the rebellion got the plans for the Death Star, which ultimately destroyed the Death Star.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
what this show is going to be about. And it's all about the ins and outs of the Empire. It's about the ins and outs of the rebellion and how they work off each other to destroy each other. And it's fascinating.
yep. The other question I came up with is pretty good for you. Deal with all this stuff too. Is does Mon Mothma crack?
Ooh, no.
You don't think she does?
Maybe a little bit. I think we
I
see the
think I'm on the other
cracks.
side. I think Mon Mothma gets uh, caught and cracked by her husband or something like that.
Isn't Mon Mothma
Something self.
alive in Rogue One and also in Ahsoka?
Yeah, but I think she still cracks a little bit. But that's what makes her stronger.
Fair. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see the cracks. I wouldn't be surprised if we see
Yep.
the presser. I just don't think. I mean, she obviously doesn't die. She also obviously doesn't cracks completely. But yeah, just like Gus Fring and Better Call Saul, we see a little bit of the cracks, but that is ultimately how she's molded into the politician that she is.
And then, do you see Luthen as a good or bad force for the rebellion?
A good.
See, yeah. See, that's what I think. But if you go online and see the debate, when I was looking at it, people are always like,
Mm-hmm.
Luthen's got to go down. I'm like, what? Or am I watching a different show? I think Luthen would be the ultimate person that's willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good.
Luthen does like
He's,
the dirty work. He will set
yeah,
people up to do the dirty work. He's going to do what needs to be done, and it's not going to look good in public. It's not.
but there's so much flack against how Cassian's going to stop Luthen. Like, what? What are you guys talking about online? You know what I'm
I
talking
mean,
about? Have you
maybe
seen some of these posts? I'm like,
I could. No, I haven't looked too deeply. It's one of those things where when I do the podcast, I don't dive too deep into what other
oh,
people are saying
gotcha.
because it's
You want
into
your own
like the
thoughts of it?
afterwards. Yeah, I want my own thoughts first before I
Yeah,
kind of start
exactly.
projecting. And then like when we get into like the conspiracy talk for like next year, that's when I want to dive into the weeds and see what other people are saying. Um do I think Luthen or Andor are gonna have like a battling out over philosophy? I definitely could see the show going there. Does Luthen strike too far into the bad moral side of things? I could see it. But you know who's really like the bad guy on the good side? Who really like is like the perfect? And we didn't even talk about him because he showed up in I'm pretty sure episode one. Saw Gerrera. Saw Gerrera is like the radical rebellion's leader. He's pretty much like he'll straight up just kill people, even if it
Hmm.
doesn't even benefit the rebellion. He'll kill them if he thinks it might.
Yeah, to add anything to it.
Yeah,
That's
like
a good point.
and he doesn't like he's like one of those think Jet from Avatar. I don't care if I have to kill good people to kill the bad people. Like that's Saw Gerrera.
As
I
long
don't
as the
think
bad people
Luthen.
die, right?
Yeah, and I think Luthen's one of those like I will kill. I will kill a whole town if I have to, but I'm not looking to do that, and like I'm not doing that unless I'm pressed to do it. Luthen's one of those I will do what's necessary, but
I'll do
I'm
what it
not
takes.
outright.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not outright evil. Or I'm not outright like radical. I'm not looking to kill these type of people. Kind of like how Saw Gerrera is. My last question is what's next for Andor and Friends? Where do they go from here?
That's a good question because now they're leaving on another planet to get some escape,
Hmm.
to escape from places. I see Cassian meeting up with Luthen, and they have some sort of discussion.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more of an ultimate plan discussion. Like, what are they going to do? Things are collapsing around them. Doesn't seem like they're going to win. Seems like they're going to be taken. I could see them more scheming together, more of a team leader kind of thing. Where
Hmm.
Cassian is
I
the
could see a
true
time skip.
leader over Mel. Yeah, time skip too. I don't know.
I don't know.
It came out today, didn't it?
No, it comes
Comes
out
out
2 days from now, Tuesday.
Tuesdays. Yeah,
From
just might
when
have
we're
something.
recording this. No, that's Last of Us. I'm gonna watch that as soon
That's
as we get
Sunday.
done.
Sunday at 7 p.m. Yeah,
Oh,
or
Tuesday.
9 p.m. or 9 p.m.
Just so you
Eastern or
guys
something.
know, came out on my birthday. I got two birthday gifts this year. I got Andor season 2 premiere, and I got Oblivion surprise release coming out. Playing that game, it's cool.
Looks fun. Looks great. I had one
It's
more question for you.
go for it.
The drowning sorrows, you know,
Mm.
that Mon Mothma has at the end. How much of a reality is that for a lot of people living in their current situation in today's lives?
God, 90% of us. I don't know how
Yeah,
much
that's
of
what I
us
was,
are awakened. How much of us are aware of what's going on? Maybe not 90%. At 50%.
I was going to say. There's quite a few people that I know that do certain things just to keep themselves out of it, out of life. I'm like, you
Yeah.
know what? This is so real for a lot of people out there, and I just keep on thinking like, oh yeah, there's so many people that would just drown themselves
I
to
can
escape whatever they're dealing with, and it's like, I
I
get it,
can imagine a lot of our politicians right now are in that mindset. And Mon Mothma is more or less like she's a senator in a fascist regime. Like
yeah.
it's I don't know. It's a lot of us. There's a lot of us probably going through that. All right,
I'm just thinking
Donald,
like
we're oh
all of those people, all these all those people are going through these sort of tough situations too. It's baffles me.
I
Like,
I think for those who are aware of like what's going on, I think they're all in that moment. But for those who don't know what's going on, it's just another day.
yeah, it's another day to live. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people who's at that party just to be at that party too. Like,
Hmm.
there's no way they knew everybody.
Well, that's just like for the rich, it's it's all the same to them. Rebellion or empire, republic, like they're rich, they get to do whatever anyway. Whereas like for the random tourists, you can be fine or you can be sent to jail forever in order to
Yep.
build parts for the empire. Like that's just fucking wild. It is a very stark
It's
difference.
fun to watch a show. That's for sure.
I will say there's a lot of comparing, contrasting. Even Last of Us season 2, even Daredevil Born Again, a lot of comparing, contrasting of like real world to now. Like it fits a lot of it.
Right?
All right, let's get into ratings, NBC, MBB, and then I want to hear your take on Thunderbolts. Just your brief take, what you can take. So you get to watch it early. Congratulations
It
to
was
you.
awesome. It was,
Basically, you get to say whether or not I should be looking forward to watching it.
all right. Yeah. So we'll do our MVPs first, and then I'll talk Thunderbolts.
All right. Ratings. Yep. Let's go ratings. I wrote 4 minus, but I'm gonna change that because I just like after like thinking about it, putting some time into it. I don't think it's 4 minus. I think it's a 4 plus.
Yo, I put it as a solid 4. So I was like, it's super solid. I say the time jump's a little bit weird, seeing everybody in a total different light, especially like Belle and stuff. It's a
Hmm.
little bit jumpy in that kind of case, but it is still fast paced enough for me. So entertaining. I think there's some little cleanup of some storylines, things like that. But other than that, the whole cinematography of it all, the
The
idea, the
cinematography
relations
is
to real life.
fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Just like
it's
rewatching it and just like focusing on it, some of the shots are just so dope. And what I think is really cool is like it is CGI in the background, but they do so much between the shots, between like the camera angle. The just the practical effects, the practical sets
Oh,
that
it's so good.
it takes away from the fact that like, oh, even though the background CGI, there's so much happening with the shots and the cuts and the transitions and the action that like I can't even tell. Like it's not hard for me to get really immersed in that world, and I do. It's just a really good looking world. I really love the different settings.
Still, I forgot to even talk about this. No Jedi's yet, man. It's even better.
Don't you don't
It's
need
so real.
Jedi's.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it is. Yeah, it's like a realistically feelable Star Wars story. The
Mm.
cinematography, the shots, and everything come out beautifully. You're like, all right, I like this one. I'm cool with it. You can keep on going anywhere.
The music was really good. The acting is really good. The writing, I really love the writing of the show because it's just people don't speak the same as if like every other TV show. It's very genuine dialogue. It seems like these are people who live in different places come together and they're not the same like they don't all speak the same.
And the passion, like you could tell, like each person is playing a part of their own passion and their own, what they were trying to do to survive too. We got Luthen become
Mm.
Mothma, that kind of interesting dynamic. We got Bell, the extra tier of Luthen over there. The way she approaches the situations, it's just the rich side. You get Cassie Andor, the cold, ice cold,
Yeah.
and statistical. It seems like,
Calm, cool, collected.
yep.
All right, MVC, most valuable character. There is a trend that seems to happen is that the main character, the name character, the show character usually wins, especially with shows that aren't as broadened with its characters. This show is pretty broad, but the focus is mostly on
Definitely Andor.
Cassian Andor. For MVC, does any other character beat Andor? Because he's in my number one.
I mean, Andor, of course, is the NBC of the show, but if I had to choose somebody else, I'm just intrigued by, want to know more, just want to learn, just like what's in their head, what do they plan, like what does their message look like? Luke,
Oh yeah, Luthen's on the
that
list.
situation.
He's on the list, but I don't think he was on there enough to be NBC. I put
But
Bix as
there's,
number two because I'm like she had the other big moment of defending from her attacker. But I'm like it has to be Cassian Endor. He saved the day at the end. The story was on his stealing of the TIE fighter and escape of the insurgents.
yeah, I mean, NBC definitely is Cassian. There's no other choice, right? I mean,
It
but
really isn't.
Luthen, Bix is pretty good up there. I mean, I like all the characters. There's not a character I'm like, yeah, get him off screen. I like the dynamic with Deidre, see what their story arc is, where they're going to go. I mean,
Mm.
every character I think I'm interested in.
I
I
want
think that's a
Daedra and
problem.
Ahsoka or Mandalorian. I want to say that. I want Daedra back. I want
Yeah,
her
there
to
you
show
go.
it to be a villain. She would be such a good Mandalorian villain.
She would be. She'd be a good villain.
Just
Just
saying.
general. She plays it well.
I mean, what if she's the Mandalorian Grogu villain at the end?
What if she's not even a villain?
Maybe,
She was just
maybe
born
she
with the
turns.
Empire, remember?
Maybe that's how
Just
season two does.
that's
She
all she ever
ends.
knows. Yep.
All right, MVP. I had a hard time with this one. Most valuable villain. I thought there was a lot. I thought I have a list of like three. Take Homa was up there. The Insurgents, the group, was up there. And then I wrote this as my number one, but I'm not sure of it. The Imperial dude that tried to rape Biggs. To me, he
I
was
mean,
the
definitely.
most.
He's definitely the biggest villain of everyone's arc. I mean,
I
he
didn't know who
deserves
else
what he
to put
got.
for
He's
most
dead.
valuable.
All right, that's tough because there's like three different arcs of villains in the whole story that they just did.
Yeah.
There's no like one main supervillain other than it's the Empire.
Who would you say
I'm gonna
that?
say
Is it Take Hofma? Kalma?
Takoma. I mean, I would say Takoma, but something's telling me there's someone. That whole party has me on like the weird. I don't trust anybody in that party or
Yeah.
part of that party, and like all those guys, whether it's Tacoma, her husband, the guy that bought him that rich statue. This that whole,
Mm.
I'm just gonna say that party people, those rich folk, don't trust him. I don't like him. The whole something's up. Don't like it.
Well, we will see coming soon. All right, Donald. Thank you. Let's do Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. All right. I'm a little bit biased, so it might be a higher. Like I said, I've only seen it once. I
Well,
enjoyed it.
aren't
I
we
was too
all?
anticipated because I got to see it early. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to take the most objective approach to it as I could. But I give it a 4- for a film for Marvel. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great. Huge fan of the Bucky. Anything that he's a part of. I like the team they kind of put together.
Is
Anytime you
it?
get a team of misfits, it reminds me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Does it
Let's.
surprise you at all? Because we had some guesses to. Is there something with the asterisk? Is it worth being hyped for?
Does it surprise me at all? I mean, there's a lot of surprising things.
Okay.
It's not what you expect,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in that sort of sense of the way. So it's
Not
a
a,
good surprise. It's good
even with the
ish.
asterisk.
Love it.
Is that in
I
play
have
at
no idea.
all? You know
I
what
have
I
no
mean?
idea what you're talking about. Nope. Uh,
You're
I will
hiding something
say
from me.
it's like Suicide Squad, but like a million times better, but not so Suicide Squad. It's not like someone put together this team. It's more of this
Natural.
band of forgetful tier 3 shitmuggins that are like, fuck this, we can do it. And it's
Mm.
great. Uh,
Okay.
Basically, those
Does it give
the
you
side
hope
character story
for the future?
of Marvel. Well,
MCU moving forward. We have Fantastic Four. We have Avengers. Doomsday. Does this give you hope for these big events coming up soon?
just give me hope. I'm gonna say, uh, I don't know. As of recently, some of their films and stuff that they came out with, I was kind of really disappointed in, like the Marvel stuff like that. It's hard to buy me
Mm-hmm.
back after a couple of weird things they've had
Captain
happen.
America.
Captain America, like I feel like some of that stuff is choppy. I feel like
Have
they
you
have a
watched Daredevil
good.
yet?
No, that's what I just started watching recently, so I'm gonna
I'm
basically
curious.
binge
I'm
watch it.
curious to hear. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Daredevil.
But does it give me hope? I'm gonna be honestly and just say right now, not really. I think I'm still on Team Feige. I think the movie was a 4-. Like I said, it was a good movie, but I still think Feige is trying to control too much, and it's time to maybe put him in check. You know,
Okay. Okay.
he needs to be humbled. I think
Yeah.
he's trying to put together something really, 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 really big, but he's not executing it well this time.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, I mean, this one film, I wouldn't be able to give a full jump and say like, "Hey, this film is turning everything around." There's obviously hope for me with the Fantastic Four and X-Men and all that stuff
Yeah.
coming on. It's just
I think the
I don't have the
state of the
faith that I used to have.
Yeah, I think the fate of like the MCU is really on Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like if they can deliver on that, we're back in. But if they can't, I don't know how we continue to go back to Marvel. Like
I think
it's
I think that's why they brought Bruce. You know,
I think so too. Which I think is a good move on their part. Let's bring back people who did this well the first time. And they also said we want to be back for Secret Wars, and they're making it happen. So I don't know.
yeah.
We'll see. I'm excited to watch Thunderbolts next week. We all have to review it together on top of Andor season 2 arc 2.
It'll be
It's
good.
weird to say.
Thunderbolts. I'm gonna watch it again on Thursday this week, so to
Also
get a more of a normal view of it.
one little tidbit. T-Wolves, man. Up 3-1 against the Lakers.
Yeah, buddy. Woo!
Never faced LeBron James in a playoff series in the 20 years he's been in the league. You know, half of it or most of it he was in the Eastern Conference. Really is one of those players that I've always cheered to lose for reasons. And I'm going to be really happy if Anthony Edwards can be the reason why LeBron and James lose again. So
Yeah, I'd be happy with Anthony Edwards taking that. Anthony Edwards, I like Anthony Edwards. I like
I
his
do too.
attitude. I like his Minnesota player that has some sort of sauce with them.
You know,
I always think they're always too soft. A lot of
you
Minnesota
know what?
players.
You know what? You know who he reminds me of?
AG.
KG a little bit, but Monkey D. Luffy, man. He's going to be king of the Pirates. I think Anthony Edwards, face of the league. It's coming. He's going to be the guy. And I really hope he can take Minnesota to the promised land. All right, Donald, thank you very much. We are signing off. This is your host, Jake Sherbing. Guest,
The
Donald
Donald
Johnson.
McNuggies.
Andor Season 2 premiere. What'd you think? Let us know. We're saying 4 minus 4 plus 4. And McDonald's Coca-Cola endorsement as well. All right. Thanks, everybody.